Okay, so we got the Olympics coming up in Salt Lake City soon. When I say soon, I
Yay.
mean, what, 2034, right, Rude?
10 years, 8 years,
10
yeah, something
years,
like
something
that.
like that. And as designers, of course, we have our opinions, and everything we do is phenomenal, and everything anybody else does sucks ass, right?
We never miss the mark.
Oh, yeah. Hit it home run every single
And
time.
on our work and our criticism, we never miss the mark.
So we're going to get into talk about that. We want your opinion. What do you guys think? Because we have kind of like, okay, the general first reaction, knee-jerk reaction of it, and then we have a little bit more of analysis of what they're attempting to do, and we kind of get into that and see what y'all think and see if you agree with us, disagree with us. It's unfortunately a very subjective matter, not an objective opinion, because really you either love it, you hate it, or you're like, what the hell? And that's what we're going to talk about. So thanks for joining us. It's been a little while, but we're going to get back into this right now. So thanks for the Rude Barn Podcast, everyone. So we're talking about the Olympics coming to Salt Lake City again. The last time we had the Olympics was 2002, I believe.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
I believe it with all my heart that we had it then, because we actually had it then. So that's why I'm pretty good with that. So.
It was a lot of fun, to be honest with you. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed like the, the pop-up, restaurants and bars and stuff that they did for it. And and what was the big one? Was the
there were so many.
Yeah, there was a really cool one downtown. The Ice Village.
Oh, could be.
It was Ice Village. Yeah, had a lot of fun. And mingling with people from different countries and stuff like that. It was really cool. I enjoyed it.
It was actually very cool. Yeah, and it definitely put Salt Lake on the map, and it was the first catalyst in really jumping the population growth here, which is a good and bad thing, because it's really like jumped quickly, almost probably too quickly
for my liking. Yeah. Well, and the thing is like it was a good boost then, and I think we needed the boost then. Now not so much. I think we're full up.
Yeah, we can slow this train down a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember driving up and down the freeways and things like that. When you hit after rush hour traffic, which wasn't anything like where I grew up in Southern California, which is like constant. I think the only time you don't have rush hour traffic now in Orange County and LA is between like, I don't know, 1 and 4 in the morning, something like that. Maybe 2 and 3:30, maybe.
Yeah, and then you got the early risers, that they're hitting it. So it's like, yeah.
I mean, you drive downtown to try to do something after hours, and it's busy going into downtown. I mean, which is good and bad, because hey, things are happening. There's stuff to do. It's not a ghost town downtown anymore like it used to be about 20 years ago. At night. So that's kind of cool. But let's show a little bit of what we're talking about here. So as designers, and of course, like we said, we have opinions. We have our strengths, weaknesses. We have our egos. Let's be honest. Let's put it to you that way. Everything we do is fantastic. Everything everybody else does, maybe cool, maybe not.
And those who are listening that don't know us, I'm in the game 25 years. Barn, you're in the game about 35 years, right?
Yeah, probably more like 75 years.
It seems like it.
Seems like it. Jesus.
Yeah. So we're seasoned.
Yeah.
It's not like we just got out of college and
We've been around the block.
We're vomiting, what we learned in college. College has been a long time ago for both of us.
Right.
And, we deal with a lot of different kind of design on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. So we have a lot of experience doing a lot of different things. Yeah. And this doesn't sit right in either of our craws.
No. This was more like the first time we saw this, we're like, I'm sorry, what the fuck is this? I mean,
we always
seriously.
say this. We always say this, gang. When we get on the phone, we can talk for an hour and a half, and we're like, dude, we should be recording this.
That's true.
And we should, because a lot of those conversations, they're knee-jerk reactions to this kind of stuff, and it's like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
And let's dive in and let the folks know what we're talking about.
Yeah. So I think everybody's kind of familiar with the latest logos for the last several Olympics, whether they were summer or winter. Paris, the Paris Games. Now, although there's some controversy of what they did, I thought for the opening ceremony games in Paris, I would say 80 to 85, maybe 90% of it was really cool. But then there was like a 10%. I mean, that what was it? The Last Supper rendition they kind of did there with that really heavy set gal being Jesus and things like that.
Oh
I thought
yeah,
was just like, what in the hell is this?
yeah.
You
When
know,
it
it just
got
seemed a little unnecessary, to be honest with you.
blasphemous, yeah,
Yeah, a little
let's just
blasphemous.
call it what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, and after that I really didn't watch any of it.
yeah,
I was just like, no, this I'm not gonna contribute or
yeah,
participate in this kind of stuff. Like
yeah,
I'm not the perfect person, but I'm not that blasphemous.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, and we're not religious people either. I mean, neither one of us are super organized religion, if you will. I think we both probably tend to think that there's some sort of higher power that's kind of out there, and yeah, when you see a lot of things, you're thinking, man, there's got to be something like that, because there's just way too many things that just don't seem totally natural, if you will. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
you know
Yeah, yeah.
like our consciousness, our souls, different things like that. Anyway, and whether
Mm-hmm.
you agreed with it, but I think there were some really cool aspects of it. But just strictly talking the logo, now that we've tangented off on that topic, I think this is a really cool logo. You got the Olympic flame, you got the face in there with the hair of this woman. I think it's very sexist, to be honest. Just kidding. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool. I kind of like it. It's an
when you look
icon.
at it
It's a
all
mark.
around, it's a nice mark. Yeah.
Yeah. So that has a nice mark. Beijing, 2022. Um, this is very abstracty little swoosh thing that could represent lots of things: ski slopes, ski runs, hockey, dance. When I say dance, I mean like figure skating dance, because
Yeah,
they
it
tend to
could,
do
it
that a
could look
lot.
like a person. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very representational. Plus, you have it in this kind of diamond shape area, which makes it a nice icon as far as I'm concerned. Kind of cool.
Well, and then it could represent like a letter or a word or anything like that,
Yeah,
in the language too, which I don't
symbols,
know.
Chinese symbols and
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah, Chinese symbols or something
Yeah,
like that. Which I'm sure that there's a little bit of that in there as well.
yeah, exactly. Rio. Um, Rio is kind of cool. I like the play on what was the oh damn it, gone blank. The artist where you step up the stairs like infinitely walking the same direction. What was that?
Oh,
You know who I'm talking
yeah.
about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I'll probably put it up on the screen once I research and that guy. But I do like the play on the depth, the dimension, the flow of this is pretty cool. And if you look into here, I suppose you would see a few more elements, but it's really kind of bringing people to holding hands and
Mm-hmm. The
being in
unity.
one. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
a unity thing. I thought that was kind of cool. London. This is probably the closest thing to what the fuck is this? This makes
This is
absolutely no
where,
sense for London for me.
yeah, this is where they started going off the rails here a little bit
Yeah. This is in
with these
2012. So you
designs.
have the 2, the 0, the 1, and the 2. But then you also have the London L, like an LO, and then the 12. But it also looks almost like it could be an R here at the
R,
bottom.
yeah,
I mean, you
or a
can read a lot
K,
of
or
things. I think they were trying to push this way too much, possibly.
well,
And just,
one of the rules that we, kind of live by is keep it simple, stupid.
yeah,
Um, but at the
kiss
same
it.
time, yeah, there is like a, okay, yeah, you want to put certain, aspects of, what the concept in
Represents
there,
the
sure.
the
Yeah,
host city.
represents the
Host,
right.
yeah. Right.
Right. But you don't want to go too far. You don't want to go so far that nobody knows what you're talking about and only you know the symbolism. You want other people to be able to get it right away.
Right.
Um, and and that's kind of, you know, the power in design, you know.
Right.
And it's kind of what we strive for. But when you go too far and you keep the simple out of it, then it just kind of looks stupid. You know
Right.
what I mean? And then you know, nobody gets what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And you can't have a seminar on, oh well, this meant this and this meant that, because nobody's going to see it and everybody's still going to think it's whack. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Well, it's like remember the Little Mermaid posters back in the day where they showed the little phallic symbols very subtly in the background and
Mm-hmm.
shit like that. If you
Mm-hmm.
have to put something like that into one of these logos, you're either an evil designer trying to mock somebody and make fun of something. It's like, I'll show them. I'm gonna put that shit in there,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. You know, and all that, or something. But you are not really. I mean, this London thing, I never liked it. You know, some people, you might think it's cool. Great, let us know. Throw that in the comments if you think this is pretty cool. Hey, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine. Rude's entitled to
Sure.
his. I just, you know, I mean, yeah, we get it. We see it. We see the 2012. We see the London. We see the, you know, but you're trying to force something, I think, too much. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, not my favorite. Beijing 2008. This is an interesting symbol because this one goes right back to what you were talking about in the other one. You got the Chinese symbol turned into a person running,
Mm-hmm.
doing.
Almost looks hieroglyphic to me. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Very ancient. Goes back to the ancient roots of the Chinese culture, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mind it. I think it's kind of cool. I think you did something that's cool, and you can use that icon in and of itself as an element to show Beijing 2008 without having to have Beijing 2008 in there.
Right.
So I like it. Notice a theme on all of these. We've got icons. We got something that makes, well, except for London. You've got all these that kind of have a cool theme. Athens 2004. You've got the olive branch. You know,
Classic Athens.
classic. You know, Athens athlete. I do like the Sydney. You got the boomerang thing going on. You got the colors of that kind of represent the outback and things like that. You do have the mountains there, and whatnot for that. The Atlanta games. I think we all remember the Atlanta games. The
Mm-hmm.
bombing in the Centennial Plaza.
Yeah,
Anyway,
the bombing.
but I like the flame into the stars, into the big flame, making it. Yeah, I mean, just was cool. You know, it's fine. The greatest thing ever. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it was cool. Barcelona. Here's another one representing an athlete, probably doing one of many events, because you can't really symbolize it just in one thing. So, representative. Soul. I'm not sure I understand the swirl coming around.
Not positive what they were doing with the swirl.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But that was back in '88. You know, everybody was high on cocaine back then anyway, so nobody knew what the fuck was going on. Anyway, and then you have a few more. Now you get back to like boring. These were not great logos, to be honest with you. The LA games with the stars, that was okay. You know, I mean, it worked back then. That was kind of the style. Here's Moscow in 1980, and this was before they did the boycotts and everything. Representing, like you got the red star at the top. Montreal, lazy. It's a lazy ass logo there. To be honest with you.
It's lazy.
Right?
That's like their MLB logo.
Yeah, I mean,
remember
Munich was one close with just this spiral down there, the little starburst thing, whatever.
Yeah.
In 72, Mexico in 68. Yeah. Okay. They tried to tie the rings into the icon, but there was no icon mark. Tokyo, not sure the red dot. Yeah, dude. I'm not sure where that comes from.
Yeah.
Weird. And then I think this was also Athens again with the Romulus Remus in here.
Yeah.
Suckling off the mother wolf, going back to their roots. And then, God, what was this one? Melbourne. Yeah, it was Melbourne, 1956. That one, probably much more of the design style way back in the day. So you got that shiz right there. And then, so let's go back real quick, back to the previous page. Some of the latest ones. I'm sorry. I really love the Paris one. I think it's clean. You have a lot of different dimensions and elements. The Olympic flame turning into her hair and her lips. It screams Paris to me.
It does. And it screams a Paris haircut too.
Yeah. So Salt Lake City is supposed to get the games in 2024 for the Winter Olympics again. So from 2002, we're talking 32 years since we've had the Olympics. And for the Winter Games, at least. And so this is what somebody came up with. And I don't know if this was somebody hired from a New York firm, a Chicago firm, a Salt Lake firm, or what. I have no idea. We probably should research that. Maybe check a little bit while we look at this, if you don't mind.
Well, maybe, even before we, unleash the beast here.
Unveil.
Yeah. Yes. Let's show, if you can find real quick, the last logo that we did, the 2002 Olympics logo.
Oh, yeah. Let me,
because that one, that one it's nice,
Yeah. Okay. So here we are. This was the 2002 Olympic logo. Let's see if we can find it. Sorry. Let's do Winter Olympic. Just do logo. Okay. So here we go.
Yeah, that's nice.
This is what we did last time. And when I say we, you and I didn't do it as much as I would have loved to.
No.
The snowflake into the colors of the state, representing the red rocks, the sand, in the mountains, everything like that. I thought that was pretty cool. Very geometric.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, very geometric, but you can use this snowflake symbol in and of itself, although I'm sure the guidelines were that you needed to use it with the Salt Lake 2002, with the Olympic rings all together, probably.
Yeah, in that packet, it's probably, I'm guessing, it was probably, a solid 20 pages long on like on direction, and then most of it, I bet, was what you couldn't do. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, can't change.
There were a lot of handcuffs in that
orientation.
Document.
Yeah, all of that. So this, now that we've come into the modern age, 22 years later, or at least when the Olympic Games will be here, and we still have, what is it? What's 2026? So we have 8 years left before the games. So we have time to change this if we wanted to, but the unveiling was so prevalent that I'm not sure they're going to do anything with it. But can I get a drum roll from you?
There's a drum roll.
And here we go. It's a bunch of black specks kind of put together. Oh, wait a minute. Oh my God. It says Utah 2034. And brilliant.
It almost like you have to have a seizure and then come back from that seizure to really be able to read it.
Yeah, I gotta have a little vertigo. That room has got to be spinning for me to see this clearly, or something like that. I think. I don't know. So at first we were like, what in the hell are they trying to do here? What are they putting together? I mean, like you mentioned before, you got the A and the H. The H is the same thing as the A minus that little top on the right there, pretty much, but reversed. And then you've got the U and the O, the 0, I should say, kind of similar, but you're forcing something. And I think you'll see this in the 2 coming up where, here's where their inspiration came from. Here's the 2 right here. It's the winding river around the Canyonlands canyons. right there. There's the 2. Can we see it here? Okay, I see that. Then we have the arches. Oh, here's a delicate arch right here in the A in Utah, right there. Right? Am I reading this incorrectly, or does that look about right?
Yeah. Yeah, that looks about right. And I did find a little article here. The A in the Utah is shaped after the Delicate Arch, one of the state's most recognizable landmarks. But
There you
is
go.
it?
But
But
is it?
is it that recognizable? I don't. I mean, it's backwards if you look at the arch. If
Yeah.
you look at the picture of the arc, the bend in the A is on the wrong
Right. It
side.
should be flipped around the other way. But you had to
Um,
have these 2 protrusions that look oddly enough like penises poking into the
right.
side of the mountain or something. I don't know.
And it says a curve
Being
in the
being very
zero
childish with that, but I don't
draws
care.
draws from petroglyph and pictograph designs followed throughout or found throughout Utah's ancient rock art. The angle on the floor is inspired by a bend in a mountain road, a nod to Utah's canyons and outdoor
I
recreation. The
guess this one up
3,
here. Yeah.
yeah, the 3 is meant to represent Reflection Canyon, a popular spot in Lake Powell. The
Could be this one
stacking and
as well.
spacing logo in the logo itself is drawn from the grid system, and many Utahs. I don't know. I think and this is
We're forcing this a little.
I got to call this gal out. It's
Yeah.
Mazzolini, Mazzolini,
Hmm.
Molly Mazzolini, and her team spent a lot of time trying to unify and represent as many parts of Utah as possible.
Where
I
is she
think they
from?
missed the mark. It doesn't say.
Doesn't say.
Yeah, that's the thing. It doesn't say where she was from. Not in this article. I'm sure if we did dig a little bit.
Okay.
But this person has helped create branding and logos for NFL Super Bowls, NCAA college football playoffs, and several venues where large sporting and entertainment events have
So they must be
been.
out of like New York or somewhere.
Infinite Scale Design Group is what they are.
Where are they?
Headquarters in Miami.
Oh, there you go.
Oh wait, no, wait.
We don't have any talented people here in our own state that could have done any of this stuff, and really would have had a I don't know, skin in the game, being here, knowing the terrain, knowing the various topographic features of the state better than anybody from I don't know, Miami,
Right.
where there's not
Well,
a freaking hill or mountain.
okay, so I was wrong. It wasn't Miami. They are in Connecticut, I believe here. Oh wait,
Oh,
no.
oh,
Wait
wait,
a minute.
what?
No, they say they're from here.
Really?
They say they are from here. Yeah.
Well, thank
Infinite
goodness.
Scale.
That's okay. It makes me feel a little bit better. It doesn't mean that their design is any better, but I understand
They're
what they were trying to do. I just am not sure the execution is something.
here in Cincinnati is where they're at. But yeah, they on their execution they missed the mark here.
Yeah, because
And
if
I
you
think
look at
that
it's just a word, Utah 2032. And shouldn't it have been Salt Lake, even though I mean, yeah, Park City, they have other events playing out. In Paris, I mean, they had an event in freaking Tahiti, which is French owned province in the Pacific Islands. Okay.
right. Mm-hmm.
But last I checked, this was supposed to be the Salt Lake City games. I could be wrong.
Yeah, we're the host city though, right? Yeah, it's
Right.
not
But we're calling
Park
it
City, it's
Utah.
not Utah.
Well, you call I know why they're calling it Utah 2034 is because they're promoting state tourism. They're promoting businesses and corporations moving here. They're promoting all this stuff to increase the economy. That's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
It's always all about that. That's why these cities want to have that. They want to promote international commerce. They want to promote business, trade, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, and I just think they really missed the mark, and we've talked about this logo, and it's like it's lazy design if you ask me, and I think
Yeah.
it's really it bums me out because there are a lot of great agencies here that have a lot of great designers, very skilled, very professional, and very seasoned.
Yeah.
And when we see stuff like this representing our state and probably one of the biggest athletic gatherings, you know what I mean, from
Oh,
year
yeah.
to year, in the world, and to see something kind of this off-putting and lazy, just it bothers me as a designer,
Well, and it's the same thing with the London Olympic logo. It's the same thing. I don't know what they're trying to do. They're trying to be different. They're trying to go off. Would it be something that I would design or you would design? No, of course not. That's why we would never do this. And that's why we're like, what the fuck is going on with this logo?
Right.
And some of you may love it. Oh my God, that is, good on you. But I just think, I mean, as I look at it on a smaller screen compared to my other larger monitor over here, I mean, you step back and you can kind of see it, but once you've seen it, you can see it, but it's like, oh my God,
Well,
I don't care for it. And that's my opinion.
Over time it's going to grow on you. I guess that's kind of one of those things, and it's one of the things I think that they were probably hoping that would happen, that it would grow on everybody. But they've gotten a lot of backlash here. They've got a lot of backlash in the media. They've got a lot of backlash with like printers and stuff like that are going to print the merch and all that. And here was one of the stories though too, and I don't have it right in front of me, so I'll probably get to butcher it. But one of the stories was that this is a temporary logo.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
but is it?
So that bothers me. They're saying it was a temporary design to get the ball rolling, to get people excited about Utah, and then in a couple years they're gonna roll out the final design. And I'm like, okay, now was that a clever way for this agency to like get more money out of the committee?
Yeah.
Because if it was
on the fact that nobody liked this logo, they're like, oh, well, this is just temporary.
Yeah, that's
we didn't really mean.
Like, well, we had a plan in mind, you know what I mean, and really quickly trying to cover their tracks on this garbage design. That's kind of what it sounds like. Yeah. But I think that that's kind of the story that went along with this as well. That wait. Before you say you hate it, before anybody else says they hate it, our plan was to roll this out as a temporary to get everybody excited about Utah. And then, the actual Olympic logo, we're going to release that in a few years. Well, but they're going to spend millions and millions of dollars creating merch with this, insignia.
Because are they not?
They're going to go back and they're going to do it again. I mean,
and they're not going to create merch with this. Why? And why would
they are? They already have.
Why? Oh my God!
One of the guys on the news was wearing the damn sweatshirt.
Oh my God!
And they're already printed.
Oh my hell!
You know what I mean?
And you think they're going to change it?
It was a black sweatshirt with that logo on the chest, and nothing on the back. Cost him $80.
Oh my!
I was floored, God. Dude. I was like, you've got to be.
But this is a collector's item because we're going to discontinue this logo. Or is this now going to be the alternative logo, the alternate logo?
I think they might just kind of wait in the wings, see what the merch sales does. And if the merch sales goes through the roof, I think it might be a good reason to, for them to go on with this fake, their cover story. Go on and do it another one because they're gonna make money off of the merch. And then that whole terrible design, in 2026 mark thing is going to go down in history as, like you said, now it's a collector's item because it was terrible and it got, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's like all the shirts they print up for the Super Bowl loser, and those all get shipped over to Africa and shit like that. And so those guys wear, hey, it was the Baltimore Ravens won the Super. No, it was like
and that's when you get alternate timelines. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that was actually the Rams that won the Super Bowl, but you have the Ravens. Anyway, you guys get what I'm saying.
Why was
because they print them up,
alternate universe? Yeah, because they print them up.
They have them ready to go, no matter who wins, and then they trash the ones. I would actually love somehow to get one of the shirts that were printed up, Super Bowl champions of the actual losing team. And any of the years the Super Bowl or anything like that happened, just to walk around and just say, hey, You do realize that they did. Yes, I do realize they
Yeah, I
didn't win.
do.
This was one of those shirts we're not supposed to have, which makes it much more
Right.
valuable.
Yeah, this is irony walking around right here. But you
Yeah.
know what I would actually like to be as well? The guy who flips a switch on the incinerator that burns all that merch. That would be a badass job.
And a couple
I
of
want to
them
be
just
that
happen
guy.
to go into your duffel bag right next to
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
Like,
Exactly. Oh, Redskins won in 93. Okay.
yeah. Like,
Yeah.
oh, shit, this thing's going to be worth them. Anyway,
Right.
give us your thoughts on what you guys think of this logo. We're not going to beat this dead horse much longer. I just think that it's lazy. I think that if you were trying to do a temporary thing, I would have liked to have seen something probably a little more like a simple, maybe, not necessarily a straight Helvetica block font or an Arial type of thing or something like that, but something where it's kind of a cool UT. And then the A would actually be the arch right here.
Yeah.
Actually take something that looks a lot more like the arch. There's your A, and then keep the H and then do the rest. And I still want to know, are we keeping it Utah 2034 or is it going to be Salt Lake City 2034?
Mm-hmm.
That's be another thing. It'd be interesting to see how this all pans out. But let us know what you guys think in the comments, right, Rude?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we like a good conversation. Let us know. We're always here to chat.
We may have to come out with our own shirts for our merch store. TheRudeBarn.etsy.com. Go check that out because we got some merch on there. We may have to try to put something like this up there just to F around with people. We're going to FAFO this one.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
So check that out. But yeah, let us know what you think about the logo. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you like? Are you indifferent? You don't give a rat's or what? We see it. It's not our thing. I don't like it. F this shit.
All right, yeah.
Just kidding, but maybe.
Thanks for hanging out, gang. We will see you on the next one.
Later.